Every single Sunday in the NFL, you're going to find a game that is going to be decided by one crazy play. It always happens. But when's the last time that you saw two games changed by one single play in the closing seconds, like yesterday's games between the Patriots and the Steelers and the Cowboys and the Raiders? One single play on the same day, two different games in the closing seconds, deciding where the money was going. And not only did the money change hands in the Steelers-Patriots game in terms of the side, but it also affected the total, because that touchdown being taken away from the Steelers, instead of pushing that game over, kept it under. And of course, you saw how that Raiders-Cowboys game turned out. And once again, showing you the value of buying the half point down in the Cowboys game, or buying the half point up in the case of the Raiders, whether you walked away with the push or walked away a winner. And in the case of the New England-Pittsburgh game, also validating the point that I've also often told you over the years, that you've got to have a number of sources to play with, at least two if you're playing offshore, because there are a couple of those big name sports books, and I'm not going to name them because, listen, guys, they aren't paying me to give them sponsorship opportunities, but you know the ones I'm talking about, where you always are paying more, usually a good half point to a point more, for playing favorites. Well, they're a great place to play if you happen to be on the Raiders yesterday, if you happen to be on the Steelers yesterday, because in those cases, there's no need to buy the extra half point because you're getting it automatically if you're under the dog. But if you were going to play the Patriots and the Cowboys yesterday at those big name sports books, they're not the places to play. That's why you've got to have an alternative place to play. And I've told you that before, and I've explained it to you before, because you get screwed playing the chalks at those big name sports books. You know, price shopping. This is no different than using your Amazon app when you're going to the big box store and going, hey, guys, are you going to price match? Well, those sports books aren't, so you got to do it yourself. So I can tell you one guy who was very, very happy with the fact that that touchdown was called back by the Steelers yesterday. On the Steelers yesterday, and that happened to be Brad Wilton, who continued his incredible role since rejoining the site here. Yeah, do I look like a genius for taking him back? Oh, yes, I do, and I will take credit for that because I run the sites. For the third straight week, he swept the weekend card, hitting a 150-dime play on Saturday, this time Virginia, minus 12, pounding Davidson by 20, and then coming back and hitting a 100-dime play in the NFL on Sunday because he had the Patriots. Well, today he goes for winner number 10 out of 12 over the past 3 weeks. Another 100-dime play, of which he's on a 103 and 71 roll, and looking for another one in the NFL. It's on tonight's game between the Falcons and the Bucks, and you get it at a savings of $60 by using coupon code BRAD. Also, props going out to Tommy Brunson. What a weekend he had. First of all, on Saturday, you know, since he joined the site on Sunday, going into Saturday's card, he was 5 for 5 with his highest rated NFL releases to that point. 159 plays. He made it 6 for 6 when you scored with the Kansas City Chiefs, thanks to him. Then yesterday, he upped the ante, the first ever 200-dime play. And I wasn't surprised because 2 Sundays ago, he had a 150-dime play on the Ravens. Yesterday came out with the 200-dime play on the Ravens. Easy, rolling over Cleveland. You got both of those winners for over half price off, and he scored again. Well, now he's going back to college hoops, where he's been equally as hot. The 8th 100-dime college basketball release since he joined the site. He has 6-1 with those plays. You've gotten them all for half price off. And tonight, he does the same. It's over half price off. The coupon code is 100-dimer, 100-DIMER. Past 42 days, $10 bettors have made $10,165. All your other discount codes, etc., are over on the homepage. Let's get to your complimentary plays. As for me, I don't even want to talk about the weekend. I mean, you know, I entered the weekend. I entered Saturday having won 5 out of 7 days. I had won 4 out of 5, 15-dime best bets. Well, you know, Saturday, as I mentioned in yesterday's video report, I was in the position to go for it. I had the 30-dime play, the 12th ever in college football. I had won the previous 2 over the past month. I had Colorado State. Lousy play that was. in the New Mexico Bowl against Marshall as they got crushed. And then yesterday, I had a 15-9 play looking for my third straight in the past week after hitting with the Broncos on Thursday, hitting the Eagles over the Rams the previous Sunday. I came right back with the Eagles. Nick Foles did everything I thought he would do. But the Eagles defense for the third straight game just didn't show up. They didn't show up in Seattle. They didn't show up in LA against the Rams. They didn't show up yesterday against the Giants. And listen, as an Eagles fan, and if you're an Eagles fan, and if you think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, you are sorely mistaken. Not with the defense that has just had so many leaks springing forth over the past 3 weeks. They do not have a defense like the Vikings, and that is a big problem going into the postseason. And I don't think they're going to be able to fix it here with 2 weeks left. Okay, let's get to your complimentary plays. The reason I delayed putting out today's video report is because the play that I was focusing on, Texas-Arlington, is the 13-point underdog at Creighton. I didn't know whether or not their senior point guard, Eric Neal, was going to be playing tonight. And let's face it, he's one of the 3 key players on that team. He had missed their last game, and I had a feeling that because they were playing a cupcake that they had perhaps given him the night off with that ever-popular undisclosed injury. Well, I now see that he's probable tonight. And if he's in, I'm in on Texas-Arlington. Listen, Texas-Arlington is a team that I've used many times as a best bet and put money down on many times here in the video report over the past couple of years because they are a dragon slayer. They are a very good mid-major team. They got off to a 7-1 start before I used them as a complimentary play about a week and a half ago, December 2nd, or actually it was 2 weeks ago, December 2nd. They were a 4.5-point underdog at Northern Iowa. They lost that game by 4 points, but got the cover. And then 2 nights later, they were back at home, and they lost to Florida Gulf Coast. They lost the game outright, 85-78. And I look at that game as just a pure letdown play. Well, tonight they're a 13-point underdog at Creighton. Now, Creighton's a good team, 8-2. They beat Nebraska 2 Saturdays ago at home by 10 points. They beat UCLA by 11. They beat Northwestern by 4. They lost to Gonzaga by 17. But here's the bottom line. When I look at the RPI ratings for these teams, and I already knew this going in, but I'm just going to validate it to you. I look at the RPI ratings for these teams. You got Texas-Arlington with an RPI of 51. You've got Creighton of an RPI of 57. These are 2 comparable teams in terms of their strength of schedule. You have a Texas-Arlington team that likes to play at a fast pace. Well, that's what Creighton plays as well. They like to play up-tempo. You have a Texas-Arlington team that averages per 100 possessions almost 116 points a game. That's even more than the Blue Jays average at nearly 108 points a game. Defensively, per 100 possessions, they're almost dead even, giving up around 99 points a game. And in terms of strength of schedule, according to KenPom, Creighton's strength of schedule, 181 in the country, Arlington 195. Yes, Creighton is 6-0 at home. And Creighton's going to win this game. And UT Arlington is on a 24-9 run against the spread versus non-conference foes for a reason. This is a team that's not scared. And I'm going to grab the 13 points with the Mavericks, in case you're on Jeopardy and you now know their nickname. I like Texas-Arlington plus the points in this game tonight. The other game I looked at briefly was Boise State plus the 8.5 at Moody Coliseum tonight against SMU. Boise State burned me in their last game at home. They were they actually went off as an 11.5-point favorite eventually against Grand Canyon before needing double overtime to win that game by 5 points. The problem with Boise State here is that SMU is 7-0 at home. They've won 29 straight games at home. Now, SMU, I wonder whether or not they have the offense here to put away Boise by that 8.5-point margin, because Boise State is a good 3-point shooting team. They average almost 11 3-pointers a game. But the thing that worries me about a Broncos play here as the dog is that Boise has only played 1 true road game. Now, true, they went to Eugene and they upset Oregon as a 7-point dog, 73-70, who snapped Oregon's 46-game winning streak. But before you get too excited, listen, the only reason they beat Oregon, one of Boise's guys hit a half-court 3-point buzzer beater. That's how they pulled that upset, okay? So it was a miracle shot, great shot. They pulled off the win. That doesn't mean they're a great road team playing their second game. So if I'm looking at those two games, I'm sorry. Even though Boise's won 6 straight, even though Boise's 10-1 on the season, even though Boise's RPI is 30 versus SMU's at 101, when I look at the KenPom stats, that's a little alarming for me because Boise's KenPom rating is 60, SMU's 27. And again, SMU 29 straight wins at home. I'm just not willing to. I don't think I'm getting enough points here. So I'd much rather take the double-digit dog with Texas-Arlington that plays a similar up-tempo style against Creighton and grab the points with the Mavericks as your complimentary play for Monday. Good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you again on Tuesday when we do it again.